The WrestleMania build has been atrocious. And it still continues to be atrocious as we talk about SmackDown. I am not a fan of what WrestleMania is going to be next week, or 2 weeks, I should say. I do not like that WrestleMania is going to be 9 hours long, and I know what some of you are going to be saying, but Patrick, you want longer shows. You've been saying Triple H doesn't do longer shows, and now you're complaining he is doing longer shows. It feels like he's only doing it because it's WrestleMania. Like, is he gonna do something like this for Elimination Chamber, Backlash, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam? I don't think so. I feel like he's only doing it for WrestleMania because, oh, it's WrestleMania. We're gonna make it a spectacle. I don't agree with a lot of the matches that he's got on the card. Well, not a lot of them, just about a fair amount of, maybe about a few of them. Like Liv's tag match, the Chad Gable match LA Grande match with Ray, and Logan and AJ, I mean, like, several other things, basically. If you're gonna make WrestleMania 9 hours long, why are you gonna make your pre-show 3 hours long? 3 hours of a pre-show. WrestleMania is going to be 9 hours, a 3-hour pre-show, a 4-hour main card, and then 2 hours of a post-show. That is just insanely long. Now, I know what some of you are going to be saying. Well, Patrick, you don't have to watch the pre-show. And I know, I'm not going to watch the pre-show. I'm not going to watch the pre-show, obviously, but again, it's insane you would do a 3-hour pre-show. If you're going to do something like that, add some damn matches to the card. Add some damn matches to the pre-show, like Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega for the Women's US title. Street Profits versus the Machine Guns. But instead, they're going to do those matches on SmackDown. Well, maybe the Chelsea Zelina one wasn't confirmed for SmackDown, but you get what I mean. You'd rather put them in a spot where they don't really need to be. And I think it's kind of stupid that Triple H basically wanted Bayley on the WrestleMania card, so that's why he had, as we'll talk about in the review, happen. And it dawned on me. I was just like, if you really wanted Bayley on the Mania card, just do her versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I know what some of you are going to be saying, like, well, we had that match last week. Like, well, we had that match this past Monday on Raw. Why do it for WrestleMania? And I'm like, and my response would be, Jey Uso challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event a week before the Royal Rumble, and he still won the Royal Rumble, and he's fighting Gunther again. So really no excuse. If you really wanted Bayley on the Mania card, just do Lyra versus Bayley. That's the only thing about the pre-show I'm complaining about, is that you're going to do a 3-hour pre-show and there's no matches whatsoever. 2 nights of 3-hour pre-shows and 0 matches on any of them. Look at AEW when they do their 0 hour. They add matches to the 0 hour just to give fans something to do. Just to give fans have a few matches for the fans, just so they don't get bored waiting for about 2 or 3 hours until the show starts. It's best I don't know why people hate I never understood why people hated the concept of matches being on pre-shows. Yeah, I know, I was probably upset about them myself in my older reviews, but now, this is the better time to start doing this kind of stuff, especially if you're going to have a longer show like this. I understand not doing it for shorter shows, like Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. I understand doing it for shows that are like 4 hours long, something like that. But WrestleMania? Yeah, you need to have matches. So that's that's on the pre-show. That's my 2 cents on all of it. That's my 2 cents on all of it, but yeah, I'm obviously not going to be watching the pre-show, so I don't really care. But again, I'm just saying that for people that actually do care, people that actually do watch these pre-shows. Which, God rest your soul. You watching 3 hours of pre-show, just watching nothing but Jackie Redmond and Sam Roberts and everybody else just flapping their gums for 3 hours and watching nothing but recaps for 3 hours. Man, God rest your soul, man. God rest your soul. So Smackdown. Let's talk about Smackdown, shall we? Smackdown was not very that eventful. It kicked off with Nick Aldis and Randy Orton. And Randy Orton's told Nick Aldis that he needs to give him a match at WrestleMania. And he says that if he doesn't get him a match in time for WrestleMania, he's not going to apologize to Mickie James for what he's going to do to him. Basically mentioning his Nick Aldis' wife, Mickie James. Nick just tells Randy he wants respect. It's not about money, it's about respect. Well, tell that to CM Punk, Nick Aldis. CM Punk says he's not here to make money. Well, tell that to CM Punk. He says he's not here to make friends, he's there to make money. So, if it's not about the money to you, Nick Aldis, then you're definitely not going to be a fan of CM Punk. Because all CM Punk cares about is making money. Solo Sikoa, the biggest bum of the bloodline, makes his way to the ring. Calls Randy a crybaby for not being on Mania. Says nobody cares. Well, I care, Mr. Solo. Randy Orton tells the two of them that they have the balls to interrupt him, and he makes fun of Tama Tonga's yeah, which I thought that was funny. And then Randy Orton tells them both to come to the ring. Excuse me. So you can kick their sons of bitches. He does for a while until they get the upper hand, and LA Knight comes to Randy's rescue, and they set up a tag team match. Then after this, we had a gauntlet match. Where Liv and Raquel will find out who they're going to fight at WrestleMania, and it ends up being the odd random pairing of Intercontinental Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria and the role model Bayley. Now again, if you wanted Bayley on the card at WrestleMania, you should have just done Lyra versus Bayley. I do not understand why this needs to be a thing. I don't understand why this is a thing. Some people now are trying to say, oh, Becky was supposed to be in this position. I've heard some speculation, don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard rumors and speculation that some people think, oh, Becky was supposed to be teaming up with Lyra Valkyria, but because she's not back yet, they're having Bayley do it. I kind of doubt that. I doubt that. Like, Becky loves Lyra. Becky friggin' loves Lyra. She would team with her without hesitation. So I very much doubt that. Other reports said that WWE wanted Becky to team with Lyra, but Becky declined. Which, you know, again, I find that I highly doubt that if that is actually true or not. But yeah, a really lame gauntlet. We all knew Bayley and Lyra were gonna win. There's like no one believed any other team had a chance here. It's a real darn shame, really. It's a real darn shame, really, that a real team like Katana and Kaden can't get on the card of WrestleMania. You know, the only actual team in that match. Those two always get shafted, man. I love them as a team, man. They always get shafted every single time when it comes to the tag team division. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about this, guys. Ray Fenix. You know, he made his debut last week against Nathan Fraser, but this time he takes on Humberto Carrillo. And I have to be honest, Ray Fenix is pretty good, but I can't help but to think he looks a lot like Kalisto. Sometimes I think he looks a little bit too much like Kalisto. I don't know why. It's just by the mask he wears. It's by the mask he wears. So, but yeah, nice little match here. Like, see, like, Humberto Carrillo, you know, I was never really a big fan of him when he first came up. I thought he was bland when he first came up. But as I continue to watch this guy, he grows on me more and more and more, and I'm starting to find him a little bit underrated. Him and Angel, great tag team. But man, oh man, Humberto continues to get shafted all the time, man. And it makes me feel a little bit sorry for the guy. He's really underrated. It makes me feel a little sorry for the guy. But Ray Fenix wins his debut. Really nothing to write home about that. Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega had a match. Chelsea loses this match by countout. I don't know why you just did not have Zelina Vega pin Chelsea Green. And I know some people could be saying, well, you gotta protect the champion or whatever. It's Chelsea Green. I don't, like, why does the Women's United States Champion need to be protected just because she's a champion? Her title reign is garbage. Lyra Valkyria's reign is far better than Chelsea's reign. Chelsea is a garbage champion. She's done nothing with that championship. She's garbage. She's awful. I don't understand why this company continues to shove this girl down my throat. Wait, listen. Zelina needs to be the one to win the title here. Zelina needs to dethrone Chelsea. Will WWE do that? No, of course they won't. They won't do that. They freaking love Chelsea Green. But again, the fact that you had Zelina win by countout and not by pinfall definitely screams volume to me that they do not seem to really trust Zelina Vega, or they don't have faith in her. Zelina should be pinning this woman clean in the middle of the ring to earn a title shot, but nope, that's not the case at all. So, before I move on to a few of the other things, I need to mention Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre's segment. They had a bit of a brawl, and yeah, it was fine. Not really invested in this Drew McIntyre-Damian Priest feud, if I'm going to be honest, but it's fine. It was fine for what it was. Cody Rhodes comes out with all the different variants of the WWE Championship over the years. And he just cuts a big old promo about the legacy of the WWE Championship and saying that he will leave WrestleMania as WWE Champion. I am really thinking John Cena is going to win here. If John Cena, because to me it just feels like it's kind of a foregone conclusion. Listen, I would rather Cody retain, so then John Cena can get more and more and more desperate to get his 17th. But I feel like he's just going to get it in his first try because, oh, he's a heel now, so we got to have the new heel champion, retirement tour, new heel champion, and all that. So, that's what I think's going to happen there. Cody's promo was fine. He showed off the old spinner belt and all the other different variants of the WWE Championship over the years. Tiffany Stratton takes on Roxanne Perez. A little NXT callback here between these two ladies. And I gotta be completely honest here. The matchup itself was fine. I thought it was good. Listen. not be a fan of Tiffany Stratton. I don't think she's as good as people say she is. But I will say the match was good. It was probably the only real good match on the entire card. To me, the gauntlet was super predictable. To me, the gauntlet was way too predictable. Chelsea and Zelina was under 5 minutes. And at least this one was actually at least given time. And of course the gauntlet was given time because you have a whole bunch of teams involved. The gauntlet was just way too predictable. The only thing I didn't like is that, Tiffany won this match. She won this match clean as a whistle. Why do this to Roxanne? Why do this to Roxanne? You give Roxanne a great showing in the Royal Rumble, lasting over an hour, setting the record of the longest record in there. She had a fantastic run as NXT Women's Champion, and you're just gonna bury her like this? You're gonna bury her like this? You're only giving her 2 wins on her main roster career so far? I don't understand why most fans think losing is better than winning. I don't agree. I just do not agree. Like, I don't think the fans will be taking the prodigy all that seriously if she continues to lose like this. Now, I get it. Tiffany's the champion. She's going to WrestleMania and all that yada yada yada. I understand that. But you know what would have been better? You could have done 2 things. 1, Charlotte costs Tiffany the match, protecting Tiffany Stratton in the process. Number 2, could have had Charlotte Flair interfere during the match, protecting both women. But instead you had Charlotte attack Tiffany before the show. Mind you, she was attacked. Mind you, they had Charlotte attack Tiffany early on in the show. So Tiffany Stratton basically went into her match with Roxanne Perez, not 100%, and she was still able to win clean. Super Tiffany much? Super Tiff much? You literally have her get attacked before the show and she still manages to win her match against Roxanne? No, to me, I hate that kind of booking. That someone gets attacked before the show, they have a match, but then they still win anyway. I just do not like that. I do not like that booking decision at all. And it definitely hurts Roxanne, in my opinion. It definitely hurts Roxanne. It would have been better if they just did a DQ where Charlotte attacks Tiffany, causes the DQ, and both women get protected. That would have been way better, but instead, Triple H had to turn Tiffany Stratton into a Super Saiyan and have her just demolish Roxanne despite being attacked earlier. I've never been a fan of that kind of booking. I hate that kind of booking. I've always have. I always have hate that kind of booking. It just makes the person that loses worse in the outcome. It just makes them look worse in the end because they couldn't beat someone that was basically not 100%. The main event. Randy Orton and Tama Tonga take on. Randy Orton and Tama Tonga. What am I saying? I'm all over the place. Randy Orton and LA Knight take on Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. Don't know where my head is at. But anyway, Randy Orton and LA Knight take on the Bloodline. And Randy Orton and LA Knight win. And then Jacob Fatu obliterates LA Knight afterwards. So, that was pretty much your SmackDown, guys. Yes, more women. That is a plus. 3 women's matches. A lot of women were on the card, mainly because of the gauntlet. So I will say that is a strong positive, more women. But unfortunately, the gauntlet was super predictable. Chelsea and Zelina wasn't a great match because Chelsea bloody sucks. Tiffany and Roxanne was the only good match on the entire show. Randy's possibly going to fight Nick Aldis. I don't really know who he's going to fight at WrestleMania, but he still wants a match at Mania anyway. this just does not feel like a good WrestleMania build-up. But again, for some reason I've heard people say, well, the build-up doesn't matter. The show is going to deliver. The show's delivery is what matters more. Did anyone say that when Vince McMahon poorly booked WrestleMania build-ups? Did people say, oh, it doesn't matter if the shows are bad, the show's gonna deliver? No one said that when Vince McMahon was in charge, when he was booking WrestleManias. If his build-ups were bad, people would say they were bad. And then people would say, oh, these WrestleManias were garbage, they were terrible. So I guess it's different now because Triple H is in charge, right? It's another case of well, we used to complain about that, but we won't complain about it anymore because it's Triple H in charge. So that's really all I gotta say about that, to be honest. SmackDown wasn't really all that great, but thank you all for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.